All right, sup, sup, sup. Hello, 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 and welcome to the stream. I think, almost positive, y'all can hear me. We'll find out. I think so. Looks like the audio is coming up, so I think we're good. How's it going? It has been a week. I had this idea from my fellow streamer, Nutterfi, to do this like first reward thing for the app. I am for like people who come into the Twitch channel, so I was like, ooh, let me work on designing that real quick. And so here we are. We are making one. We are making it a first. I feel like it should be a coffee cup though, and not just like the cup. But I don't want me, I just want the coffee cup. Let's copy this. Let's make this 112 so I can see it. Coffee cup might be a bad idea. Let's figure out what can happen here. All right. Oh, so close. Bring it down. Hold on. I have an idea. Bear with me as it happens. It is an idea. Again, not sure if it'll work, but we're gonna try. Just warming up some Figma here. I promise we'll get to some Swift coding in a moment. I think it's gonna be too small to really see what's going on. Excuse me. Let's just do one. It's lame, but it works, I guess. Innovator grotesque. Like that. And then we'll... boom. We're almost there. Text ST. Drop the size just a smidge. Almost. And then I think that looks okay. Yeah, let's do it. All right, so then we just need to export 1x, export again. Whoops. But it should be 0.5. And then what is that? 112 divided by 28, 4. So what, is that 0.25? Yeah. And then we'll do 0.25. I hope that'll work out nicely. We'll find out. Put it to my desktop. Oh, here we go. Reward. Let's drop them in. Oh, one at a time, I guess. This one here. I had to guess here. And then here. Oh, I was supposed to have... what's the hex color? Copy. Paste. There we go. One. Oh, one per stream. Create. All right, I officially have a first, so that's fun. All right, well, that's a good one. Now I think there are officially firsts. Yes. I obviously don't want to be the one that redeems it, but we now have have a first on the Twitch channel. Sweet. All right. Well, that was fun. That got me there. And now y'all can see my entire Figma doc of this. All right. So today, what are we doing? My mind is everywhere all at once right now on what I should be doing. I know what I should be doing. I should be going into the streaming focus. But it's more so like, what do I want to do? Ooh, Nutter got it. Nutter got the first. Here we are. Nutter has been first in chat in Twitch. Pew, 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 pew. I used to have sound effects somewhere. I don't know why they're not here anymore, but I did. Congrats, Nutter. I don't think it'll let anyone else redeem the first now. That should be not redeemable. I think I just copied you. But, you know. People asked, people received. That's what matters. So here we are. I am working for me tonight. I still didn't get quite the work stuff done that I was supposed to get done today, but I needed a break because I spent way too much time yesterday working on it. And I actually worked through all of today trying to figure it out. It just was not happening today for some reason. Anyway, writing AI like evaluations is hard, and that's what I'm doing. So though, what are we doing today? Today we are going to be working through camp note stuff, and complete. What that really means we'll be doing is, for camp notes, I really wanted to rip out one signal, because it is a hefty price. Where'd it go? Hold on, I have it somewhere. Oh, did I not? Here it goes. All right, where's the pricing? So like, as we know, I made Ship-a-ton. I made camp notes to work with Ship-a-ton. So what this really means is that hold on, sorry, my camera is bothering me. It's not flipped properly. Why is it not flipped? Perspective, I don't understand. Should be. Settings. No, that's still the same. Anyway, that's weird, but all right, we'll deal with it later. All right, so for Ship-a-ton I made camp notes for Ship-a-ton. It's great. It worked out. I got 5th place in the one signal category because I but I used one signal to do like what's new notifications, like messages. I also had a little bit of notification set up. Anyway, I placed in the one signal category, which was great. I kind of just threw everything at the wall in Ship-a-ton to get whatever I could. But now that Ship-a-ton's over, I don't really want to keep spending $20 a month on this. I'm just not. Believe it or not, camp notes is not making the big bucks right now. So I don't think it's worth it for me to continue having one signal for $20 a month. I do still want to keep it in because they do have a very generous free tier. So I'm not going to rip it out necessarily, but we're going to downgrade costs because like, I can keep sending my emails. So I do monthly newsletters. No, I am not giving out money. Absolutely not. I wish if I had the money to, I totally would, but gotta get camp notes up for some subscribers first. Yeah. Sorry, Hyrule. CJ. Stop scratching. But yes, so that is that's what's gonna happen there. So they have a very generous free tier. The only downside with the free tier is this like active message. So like I could keep the what's new message, just keep it like tagged correctly, but you know, that kind of thing. So I'm gonna lose like the what's new, like being able to do that via the web, and I'll lose the ability to target specific notifications via the web, which is fine. I think I can build a Firebase function that will do that, or I can continue going on this like pet project inside my head where I have a server that basically does all the custom notifications and just triggers one signal to send it. But that's gonna take some time and effort to finish getting going. And I just don't want to do that right now. So yes, I get to tag users, but I only get like 2 tags per user, which isn't really helpful. And same with like the audience segments. And if you see like there's no events, which would be great, like custom events are great because I could say, hey, when the user subscribes, I send an event to one signal saying, hey, when the user subscribes, set a notification or a message to send saying your trial is going to go off. Well, I don't really have that option with the free option, but I think we're just gonna downgrade to free, keep people getting into the email system so I can keep sending them emails every month, and then we'll work from there. Yeah, and then I'm gonna have to work from there because like I said, I'm just not in a spot where I want to afford this right now. The One Signal like award it's funny because I won the One Signal award. It did come with like a monetary value, but I want to use that for other things. Like I know I'm gonna need a new computer someday type of things. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna downgrade, pocket that money for the business in other ways. So first let's do that. I think if I downgrade, it'll be okay. I'm gonna go here, billing, change plan. We're gonna choose this plan. I have to put, I'm just not showing you because it shows my credit card stuff, and well, that's, y'all might be happy about that, but I don't want to put that up. All right, so if I downgrade, I'm gonna lose functionality, and some people may not get messages, which obviously I know. Result in reduced access, messages may be paused. I think this is okay because I have one journey set up for an onboarding, which is great. So within your first 7 days, it's gonna send out like, hey, within your first couple days of using, like that's honestly the most important because I want users to come back. So I think this is okay to do. I'm just too high, honestly. The whole thing. Tell us more. Sure. Yeah. With my apps to support the paid plan of One Signal. All right, so after we do this, we're gonna get actually into coding. Great. It's, I already did this. Go away. Great, my plan's been changed. I thought it said my plan had been changed. Hold on. Probably not something I should be doing on stream. Okay, yeah, my plan type is free. We can kind of see here, my current period is only 74. I've only sent 3 emails. So if we go to apps, camp notes here, we can see like I'm sending and if people are opening them, which is cool. So that's like I sent a monthly newsletter here. People are getting them. So that's kind of cool. I have a 70% open rate, which I think is pretty high. Maybe, I don't know. No one's really clicking though, which is a bummer. But at least things are being delivered. So when I said I had like a journey going, this is what I meant. I set up. So when users sign up, go away, Joshua. So when users sign up, what ends up happening is they sign up, they go into wait, and then they get a sign up email. This email, 60% open, like 58% open. It's delivered 31. Oh, whoops, sorry. We have an unsubscribed. Wait, I really feel like this is. Things are really small on the screen, but okay. Unsubscribe, so 3% unsubscribe. That's not terrible, but no one clicks. I don't even know if I have clicks, to be honest. But basically it says, thanks, we're excited. Make sure you record your first campground. Discover campgrounds. Open the apps. You know, that kind of thing. And then we wait again for 6 days. And then in the next week, I just sent another email that says like, hey, it's been about a week since you joined. Have you recorded your first visit? Yes or no. Kind of upselling Camp Notes Pro, and then hit reply. Again, no one's actually clicking in anything, which is a little upsetting. And these, but you know, I guess it's better. I'm at least getting them sent. And, oh, whoops. Add stat. Opens. And at least it looks like, oh, it looks like I did have one. I'm having people open them. So this is like an interesting, like, it's delivered, open and delivered that time. So that's kind of cool. So at least people are opening them. You know, I don't know how many people are actually, it doesn't look like anyone's like clicking from them because there's no clicks in here or click-through rates, but at least people open them. Anyway, that's the most marketing and most that I use OneSignal for right now. All right, so that's done. That can at least be checked off the list. The next thing we're gonna do is actually work on making, figuring out a gamification for Camp Notes. So I don't think it's gonna help too terribly much, but I do think it is something that's worth doing. And before I get more people in, because if we go check out Telemetry Deck, I think Telemetry Deck does it. If not, I know Posthog does, which I want to get rid of also. I'd much rather just stay in Telemetry Deck. Decent number of users within the last 30 days, I think. My retention is awful. So that's fun. Dashboards. Numbers. That doesn't seem right. That seems to always stay the same. And this is why, okay, so I've had at least 12 visits made. I feel like I've had more. Hold on. Let's see. All right, so I've had 34 visits made in all time. Yeah, we can see my users are dormant. It's okay. And I've had 25 accounts made all time. And these stats don't really matter. Okay, so with visits made, accounts made, I should be able to get some retention back. So, I really think that I don't think the gamification is going to push it too much, but I think it'll help. You know, people like badges, people like level ups, people like levels, that kind of thing. Nothing more to it than that. Also, I want the experience to build a gamification system. So that's what we're going to do. I still need to really design what that looks like. A couple ideas for gamification were like scout badges. I think I have it somewhere here. Camp Notes. Oh, I've done that. It's fine. Scout badges instead of coins. So I had the idea that I would do coins but I really think like scout badges are going to be where it's at. So let's go. So there's a couple things that need to happen here for supporting gamification. So let's make this its own page. I don't need cheap viewers from Streamboo, y'all. You know why? Because I have the best viewers here. Ban it. I should probably turn on auto mod for that. I bet I could somehow. Anyway. Where do I want to put these docs? Let's open the, no, not Z. Oh my God, close Z, please. I get overwhelmed sometimes with Z. Cursor. New open project. All right. Developer. What are we talking about? Camp notes, right? All right, lots of things here. Okay, so that's just an internal. I'm just gonna delete that. And then this was a fun little like macOS project that was just starting out. We'll go ahead and delete it too. Let's do camp notes. It's just gonna be called camp notes. Let's go start a new repo so I can keep track of it. So the idea here in this repo, it's gonna be all the documentation. Oh, Ranger Station. All things related to tasks, roadmaps, etc. Ooh, I should probably just clone this and make this it. I don't mind this stuff being public, to be honest. Yeah, I should probably pay more attention to these that I have. Because apparently I already have a decent like idea of what I want here. All right, let's change this into gamification feature. I like when I've already done the work. It's really nice. All right, so these are collectible challenge coin systems. That makes sense for what I want. Let's go here, code. Copy. Cursor, get rid of that, delete. Clone that. All right. Actually, like, I've been using cursor again, and I actually am using the AI more inside cursor than I am. Oh, is that not free now? Than I am inside Claude Code. Just from like the IDEs are a little bit nicer. All things related to feedback, tasks, roadmaps. Makes a lot of sense. All right. Which means I should probably start putting release notes in there. As I do have release notes like here inside my GitHub repository. Inside the GitHub repository for the iOS app, which I guess is fine, right? It doesn't really matter where I put them. Okay, so anyway, so let's do folder gamification. Let's docs features. So we have the project structure. What are these little, like, so when we do, like, you know, you can do this, like when I have what's its butt, like Claude or something, make me a repo, it does the cool little, like, file folder things with the ASCII on the side. Docs. So this is architecture. I'm looking for like the thing where it's like that. Oh, is it really just that? But I think that's just my ligature being cool. Cause like, what are the ASCII characters for displaying folder structure? Yeah, these. How do I do those? Okay, but how? A vertical bar. Okay, but how do I do them? Use the tree command. It's gonna just do so. Open back here. What are you doing? Just lay down. I know, you don't like being in here. I don't know why your mom insists you be in here. Well, the tree command doesn't work. How does the tree command work? Okay, so I thought it was just tree, but I guess that doesn't work in Mac OS. Well, that's fine. I'll just copy them from here. Stop, you're being annoying. I was playing with you all afternoon and grab that. You're fine, dude. Anyway, there's not really that many anyway. We'll just describes how features work in Camp Notes. Just trying to keep good documentation. No, I don't have to. Stop. Sorry, there is a dog here yelling at me for attention because that's what happens. Sec. Okay. This is what happens when I also don't really have a plan for the day. Gamification. All right, so let's do uh 11, 20, 25, 11, 19. All right, so we have, where'd this go? Repository, ranger station, issues. All right, so this is basically what I want to make into the README, I think. Just the idea here. Cancel this. All right, so the idea is we have this overview. We add a collaboration challenge coin system, add a collectible challenge coin system to Camp Notes. That rewards users for visiting campgrounds, completing milestones, etc. Primary, increase user engagement, secondary, gamify. Great. We're gonna do automatic location coins. So user earns a bronze coin automatically on the first visit to any campground. coin displays campground name and standard camping icon. All right, so first let's, I mean, this all seems like really self-explanatory. There's a couple things I need to do first though. Like I feel like I need a way to manage like the Firestore, the database, to say, hey, these are the coins that I want to make. Here's the threat. I don't know why it does that. All right, we're back. Don't worry. It was just me hoping that this wasn't going to take 5 million years to launch. You did not miss much. Thank you, CJ, for letting me know what is going on here, because I would have no idea. Apparently, it really does, at least for my microphone. I think, I don't know quite how, I think the cable is like loose, whether it's the cable or whether it's the microphone. If it's the cable, it makes sense because like gravity is pulling it out. But I don't know what's going on. Instead of coins, I want to do scout badges. Let's look up some scout badges while that's building. Images. What? I know, dang microphone. It's actually why the annoying part of the microphone, like going in and out, is actually why I used to use my microphone for like work meetings, and I stopped doing that because it got super annoying of like this, like the app, like the, like it just stopped working, which is annoying. I mean, scout badges, like, don't seem... Okay, so they're like the coins I was thinking of. They're just like... I can do this. So this was kind of something I was planning already to try to do in Swift. Of like, I'm going to have different coins, and then I'll put like a symbol in the middle, like an emoji or something in the middle. I think that works. But instead of coins, they'll be called badges. So, yeah. Thanks, Nutter, for the lurk. I appreciate it. While Nutter's going to lurk mode, y'all, if you enjoy my stream and actually want to see some coding happen and watch some video games happen, go check out Nutter's stream. What is that? Man, wow, this is fun. Dude, you have 30 minutes. How? Shout out. Wow. Please go check out Netterfy's stream. Does some awesome Swift coding, does some awesome video gaming, all that good stuff. Super great guy. Definitely go check him out. Give him a follow. Join him. Usually around the same time I stream, just on different days, which is really nice if you're looking for someone to fill that in on like Tuesdays and Thursdays-ish. You know, whenever schedules allow. Okay, so we can do this in Swift, which is great. It makes it easy. I can start off with like basic SF symbols. So I can either make them in Swift or I could make them in Figma, I guess, and just export them. Not quite sure which one would be best at this point. Okay. Now we're launched. I think I need to update Xcode. Lame. Because that seems like it is not working great. Alright, so we have... Oh no, that should not show. Let's go... Oh, that also might just be an issue in one signal. I'm just gonna go turn off my in-app notifications, to be honest. Messages. Those were called in-app messages. Pause. Pause. And then we will do the same thing here. Camp notes. Pause. Great. Everything's paused. We should be good. Also, I think there's like new things I might need to do for Apple guidelines. I'm not quite sure what that looks like quite yet, but at some point we'll have to take care of those. Continue. Great. I don't want to. But I should have an account already. Test at plus.dev. Whoops. Test at cctplus.dev. Copy that. Not now. It's fine. Not now. All right, we have lots of testing here. So I think we're gonna do my visits here. I wonder if I should do more like of a custom thing. So like, let's screenshot this. Let's go into Figma. Hold on. Wrong app. Also wrong thing. Is this gonna be it? This will be fine. Also not quite what I was looking for. Let's go. New design. Gamification. Put a assets. That one. Add those libraries. No, just that's great. Examples. Give me a. It really doesn't matter. I just need this. Thank you. Said it didn't really matter. All right. 408, 402.8. Great. It's the same thing. And then let's grab. I don't really care. Okay, really? Are you really gonna be that difficult? Yes, apparently. Anyway, great. I love it. Screenshot, and we'll just drop it here, and we can scale it down. I did figure out how to properly use Figma files the other day, like for iOS things. Hold on. There was a fun drafts, maybe. Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta get things out of your head, right? Try to figure things out. I do like some Instagram, social media content sometimes, and I try to do like daily specific themes. And I figured out like Apple, as part of their like screen here, they have these scroll edge effects. So when you're building out in Figma, as long as you add this screen, which I just took from like one of their like examples and I dropped it in, it'll do the blur for you. So your Figma docs start looking like stellar. Like I did a lot of like effort here, right? That's what it looks like. When in reality, I mean, it took a lot of effort because I didn't know what I was doing. But once I figured it out and placed things in the right places, like it all works. So like if I like this blur here for the lifestyle content is all because of this guy. Off, no blur, on blur. Just like it would be in the iOS app. And then I don't know what this one's for actually, like where this one goes. I think it's for the edges, but I could be wrong. Yeah, so the more you know about these apps, these things. And then I've also gotten into like, how do I go in and actually like customize like the buttons here, stuff like that. Auto layouts, I've started figuring out how they are used. Like it's just trying to figure out how Apple like plays ball with Figma has actually helped me quite a bit. All right, back to here though, which is not built in Figma. I just went straight into Swift UI. So now we're gonna start reeling back into like actual app world. I guess this isn't really coding. This is more so Figma designs. We're gonna get into coding after I get some of this stuff figured out design wise. The thing I needed to do for Camp Notes this month was to figure out how this works design wise, this gamification. So here we are. All right, so we have this here with my visits. I could put an icon like here like the coin icon. Oops, come back. Not rectangle, ellipse. Like I could do the little coin icon here, right? Let's go. Center, different color. Do I had, hold on. Is it this one? Yeah. Where'd all my colors go? I thought I had them somewhere. Maybe it's an app assets that I'm looking for. File. No, those are just onboarding assets. I literally went through, maybe it's not this one that I'm thinking of, but I really thought I had gone through and figured out my, like, put in like my colors here. But I guess not. Colors? No. Lame. Alright, anyway. Let's just do red. Background here. And do red, but darker. Great. Alright, so I could do this, like something like this. And then that would open a sheet. Full screen cover, like something that just opens on top. So the idea is that it's very similar to like what app am I pulling from? This idea from any app that does this, but I'm specifically thinking of like the fitness app. Hold on, I'm gonna screenshot it and send. Airdropping, it's great. Do. Oh no, just go to all my awards, please. Excuse me. I know, another airdrop received, and then one more. To show. Okay, so they break out theirs a lot more, which I don't really care about breaking it out this much, but so we have like here, like we have this awards here, and then you go into it by tapping on this button. And it's gonna take you to this awards page. So whenever I tap on that, like the circle in the top right, which still not quite sure that's exactly what I want. It's gonna go into, instead of going here though, it would go into like this like challenge into this like scout badge grid, right? So, and it'll list off all the ones you have, maybe ones that you're working on, but that would be like future. I think it's fine to not know what's coming up, that kind of thing. And then as I start building more, like I could build out this page because I'll have the different types. But the idea is that we go from like here, again, tapping on like this icon, I would end up tapping here, but like, you know, on the awards, to this is what I'm going after. And then when you tap on them, you get like a full screen, like, you get like a full screen effect here, right? So you get the info of what it is, see more of it, you can share it, that kind of deal. That's what I'm going after. That's what I want to build, just so that everyone's up to speed. I don't know if I like this though anymore, now that I'm thinking of it more. I think what we're gonna do instead is add in. So we still have my visits, right? I'm gonna keep this here. I do a circle with patch. Duplicate it. Do I want to duplicate it? I don't think I do, actually. I think we're gonna end up list. No. Oh goodness, what do I want here? List wasn't right. All right, let me put the toolbar in, because actually that'll help the most. Great. I don't actually care that it's not gonna show exactly what I want. File. You can turn off the bezel. The most important thing here is we can start changing here my visits. I don't want this. I don't think I need it. We will put the home indicator on. I don't want the bezel. We already talked about that. These can stay. It's not gonna really matter. Turn off that guy. All right, so what we can do here, ignore that, not necessary. We do want the screen, this background. Where? Okay, background. Here it is. I don't want it to be all white, but I guess we'll keep it for now, actually. But in the content area, let's add a rectangle. The thing is, you have to... Can we just detach instance here? No. I have to detach the whole instance. Okay. Great. Now I should be able to do this. There we go. So if you notice, the cool thing is that the Apple designers have put in a super... have made this all work. Very fun. So if you notice, I can't actually just place it wherever. It has to do the proper, be in the right area. So they're using auto layout. If I add another one, it's just going to add at the bottom, which is actually really quite nice. All right. So we're going to add it, make this though 24. I just happen to know that's proper. Let's make that white. And I lied. I do want this to be... is it this one? I want that to be a list primary. There we go. Hey, Mono, what is up? How's it going? I'm ready for your tangent. I haven't done any coding, so my thing is a lie. I've been working on design work. Sup, Adam? Yeah, no blurred code here. Actually, no code yet. Just kind of working on the design for a gamification type feature, like trying to emulate like the Apple Fitness workout, the Apple Fitness like challenge things into the app. Mono, I think a while ago you called them scout badges. That's what we're going with here. So that's what we're doing. So not even, definitely without blurred out code and definitely no code right now. I'm gonna start, I'll probably start coding in like 30-ish minutes. I just wanted to get some of the like UI stuff out of the way for here. We're not gonna start coding this. I want to get into the feedback app. I got an email from Canny that the plan, what I'm using in my free plan is going away. So I've been kicking around a user feedback system, a management program thing that I've been playing with, trying to build. We'll probably build that, work on building that, work on making AI build that actually. Dude, And then Thorgy has been Thorgy and begging for more. I think I'm gonna let him out real quick. He wants out. I think he thinks that he's gonna have a He has 15 plus. Or, yeah. Alright, well, Thorgy got kicked out because I got tired of him yelling at me for things that I don't want to do. Let's group that, copy that, put it here, but I don't want it in that. Yeah, he's being annoying. All right, so this whole like auto layout thing is messing with me, so let's group these, but we're gonna allow them to stack. Hold on. All right, so this is actually gonna have to be a layout, right? Is that how this works? All right, and then I think I can actually. It's fine. Now we got it. All right, there we go. I think this makes sense. Like just. You know, the award, the most recent awards you've won, right? Drop to. What's wrong? Why is that making it go up? Doesn't make sense, but I'll take it, I guess. 16, great. And then go away. Am I hitting the wrong? Oh my god, it's like I've never used a keyboard before. What are we gonna call this? My visits is at the top. I guess I could do sections, so we have the like instead of doing like an actual title. I think it makes sense to do a title though because of the way the tab bar works. Anyway, my visits. This is gonna be called what? Badges? Badges? Badges. Wow, I need to stop talking, apparently. I don't want it large and emphasized. Headline maybe? And it needs to be inside here. Can we lock that? Because then it'll stop making me try to select it. And unlock this. Delete that. And this needs to go inside here. And then we'll do, oh, is that it? 16. Great. I think I could, in theory, do down. We can group these again. And that's gonna go sideways. Right? And then frame 2 though. So high. It's fine. I want it up towards the top. The height, I actually want to hug the contents. This should probably be 8 times 3. Looks good. Spending way too much time on this. It doesn't really matter. The width has to be that much. Yeah, width I think we can actually set to fill container, which is what we want. And then we can go here and say center. I don't quite know how this one works, but I do know I only want them 16 across. What if I do 16 here? Oh no. 0. And this should fill the container as well. Gives me 16 there. Oh, and then if I were to like not show this one, we get 3. And we'll keep it like this and centered. All right, so then also what that means is when I add, if I were to add another one, it just gets added to the end. Okay, great. Let's just delete that though, because I don't have another one. All right, let's make this one yellow. Sure, the badge actually works there. I'm just making things up. All right, so, you know, different scout badges. I'm assuming this is what you kind of meant, Mono, when you suggested scout badges. But they are going to have an icon in them. I just don't know. I don't want to go through the trouble of doing that. And then a group here. We're gonna that fill container to the left. Perfect. Great. Awesome. Yeah. I actually had this kind of working slightly in a branch at one point, like the coin I was looking to make with just pure Swift UI code, which I think is what we're gonna go with. So because then I figured out how to get the flip right so that we can, so like when you touch it, it'll flip and it'll do the thing like Apple Fitness does, where it shows you when you when you achieved the award, basically. All right, so one other thing is I want a button. It doesn't have to be liquid glass. This is fine. It's just bullshit. All right, and then here. Oh, is there? No. There's gotta be like a way to say like spread. Maybe it's this one. Auto? There we go. Alright, so instead of small, yeah, small's fine. Just symbol bordered. Not sure. And we want SF symbol. Wrong thing. I got a new keyboard. I ordered the going back to the Mac standard like Magic keyboard, mainly because I want Touch ID again and because it's a lot quieter, and my wife was not too fond of all the clicky clacky I would make. It was last night actually. She was like, it's a lot. I was like, all right, well, just like last night whenever I was working late. Not her fault. And she actually would have said it was fine as long as I would have closed the door, but I'm just like, it's fine. I'll change it myself. But so I decided to change it and figure out my secondary, primary. There we go. And figure out, you know, like I could fix the issue by not being as loud with my keyboard by just buying a new keyboard. So I did, and I am getting used to where all the buttons are again. All right, and then going here is going to open you into like a grid of badges that you've earned, right? I think that's about all that's needed for now, and then we'll just have the standard list. Hold on. Put into content. Hold on. We're gonna. Xcode makes you type louder than an Android Studio. I bet you there's a reason for that. I bet it's because of all the SwiftUI errors. How do I crop an image again? There has to be a way to do it in Figma, right? Like, could be something with this darn toolbar. Always. All right, so how do I crop it again, though? Because all I want to do, oh, okay, I guess if I just make the box smaller, it'll somewhat work. Not necessarily, though. Oh, you're trying to do the custom toolbar, right? Yeah, that's not as easy as Apple wants it to be. All right, and then we have the visits like as a separate section, right? Like something like that. You need a custom font like you thought most business apps would. Oh, dude. Yeah, the custom font and the navigation bar is not easy. I've been there with just trying to get the rounded font, right? So like this is SF Pro, but it's SF Pro rounded versus like the standard SF Pro. And there's like, you can do it. Again. There we go. Sorry, I don't know what you heard, but then we'll go into the same navigation stack from here. Text. You missed the rant. Just that it is not as easy as it should be. Even just getting the like SF Pro rounded up there is like, you have to go into UI Kit world and it's awful. And like, and it's just not a good time. Tapping it on badges, chevron will open to a grid of badges in navigation stack, right? There we go. And then tapping on a single badge will open the badge sheet. Yeah, the badge sheet to share and see details. This is the same action as tapping on a badge in the nav stat and the grid view. You're taking a leaf out of Nether's playbook and made a sample project. Ooh. Good for you, though. I'm always impressed by his sample projects. Like, it is helpful because it does, like, narrow down the, like, complexity, but it's still not as, like, I just never go for it because I'm like, well, I need to get it to work with all the complexity, though. All right, so this should be enough for me to get by. All right, I'm going to say that my task for camp notes this month is done. I decided where it's going to go. I've decided what it's going to look like. These are going to be a little bit more fun, though, so I still have a little bit more design work to do. But I'm going to put a pause on it because I'm going to go to take care of the pets, even though I just put them out there. Your previews aren't working and you need them to fix this. Ah, yes. That's actually the main reason I usually actually go to the sample project is whenever my previews break and I'm like, why? And I will just want to test something quickly. And even then, I don't go to a real sample project. I go to the Playgrounds app. Or like I make a Playground app in Xcode. Because then I don't have to deal with like all the like nuance of creating a whole brand new project. All right, like I said, gonna go take care of the pets. I will be back. Give me like 10-15 minutes. Take a nice little break, nice little breather. And we're gonna be back to keep going to actually switch gears to that feedback project. So I will be All right, what's up, y'all? I am back. Nutter, saying hi to everyone in chat. Came back from lurking. Dogs are taken care of. Cats are taken care of. Dog is taken care of. Cats are taken care of. All right. Like I said, we're gonna get into working on actual code now. Sorry for that tangent of Figma and like messing around a lot in docs. We're gonna go work on some actual code. Code. All right. I don't actually need these things open anymore. Go away. I don't even need Xcode open anymore for this. Or this. And don't save for now. Here we go. You checked your cat. It's about 1,000,000 degrees chilling on the sunbed. Nice for summer. You know, that sounds like a cat. Our cats love to be chilling in the sunbed, in the sun no matter what. It just so happens that the sunbed is also my bed. But yep. Sounds like your cat is living the life as all cats deserve. All right. So, fun fact. I started a new project again. Again, like I said, because of this, I got an email from Canny saying my plan, whatever free plan I'm on, they are getting rid of, and they're actually going to downgrade me instead of keeping me on a legacy plan. Whatever, I'm a free user. I don't pay money. All right. So I need a way to get feedback. I was actually planning this already without this notification, but this notification is prompting me to actually work on it. Basically, it is what this is. I was working on it last week whenever my stuff wasn't working. Remember that fun time? Whoops. There it goes. Yeah, so basically what this is, it's a feedback management system that's going to help developers collect, organize, and manage user feedback in their apps. I need it. I'm building it in a way that hopefully I can deploy it and scale it to others. You want a feedback process. You have one that's reasonable for you. But is it like a system that has like a, what am I looking for here? Like the idea is this is going to have like a web interface and stuff for it. Hold on. Let me see if I have a, like a very basic system here that we can go through, look at stuff like this. Eventually maybe have connections into GitHub, like sending GitHub issues. I mean, I was looking for a feedback process that would save me a lot of development time to not have it, and some money for not like hosting a server and stuff. But I was also just gonna try to build my own because I'm a monster and can't stop trying to make AI build things with like guidance from me. Because again, why not? So again, just like a super simple, users can submit thumbs up, thumbs down, and or a message, and or just a message. So like this is just a message here. The idea is that you can plug, it's gonna work very similar to that is very, very good. You're a Google form. All right, so you're cheap. Yeah, I like that about you. Your suggestions are usually pretty much in my budget. Use Google form that people can fill out. You get an alert via API alerts app that there's new feedback, and you click the notification and go straight to the form response sheets. That's actually pretty nice. Budget of $0, which is great. I like it. Again, your suggestions are usually in my budget. The thing that I want to do that could enable, I guess if I did it a bit, is there is also, yes, there's like this feedback part that I have to build and collect and database and all that jazz. But I'm also going to build a package along with it in SwiftUI So I can get like the put in the nice little like thumbs up, thumbs down, like rate this feature type deal. Submit feedback, like nice little things to go through there, so I can get it. So I can also get these into like so again, like at the end of my feedback form, at at the end of the adding a campground, right? So after, whoops, allow. So after the user hits say visit, you know, like maybe there's like a little like thumbs up, thumbs down, like did this work for you? Did it not work? Did this work for you? Yes, no. And then it just goes into the feedback system, right? That kind of thing. So I just want something I can quickly tie into. Let me put this back on. That I can easily tie into here and do that with. Again, Swift UI packages may or may not work for that. I am going to make a Swift package that you can just, that my user can just add to their app, and it'll conveniently call the proper, like, it'll call the proper, like, APIs and stuff, like any other analytics package does, right? You can just set it up, configure it, and it sends it. The nice thing is that the idea here, those are not docs. The idea is that your end user doesn't need to put any extra information in. You can just say, hey, here it is. Like, you just configure the user's like identifier, user ID in there, and it'll be great. It'll just be able to link a user with this specific feedback, and you'll be good. In theory, I'll also get it to where it sends you an email when it happens, when like you get a feedback. And then maybe at some point in the future, like I said, connect to other things. Again, grand schemes. It doesn't matter right now. That's not what happens. Is it here? I don't know why. Like, my mermaid documents like work sometimes and then they don't work sometimes. I was gonna show. Okay, so that's creating an app. That doesn't really matter. That uses the app. Maybe I don't have it here. Anyway, I also, like, because this is all tied to the, what was that other one that someone on Twitch worked on? I know what you're talking about. It's the wish list thing. Wish kit. There we go. Yes. Yeah, I really like this guy that did it. Very similar idea here that we can get it in, stuff like that. This would be like a V2 type thing for me. Like to actually support the like feature wishes, bug reports, stuff like that. Which I guess like straight off the back you technically could with just like messages put in. But this is like a V2. Again, there's gonna be like dashboards and stuff. I'm working on it. It's the same idea here. I need to actually go and look at their prices. His prices. So again, same idea, just a little bit of a different priority. My priority is more so to get smaller feedback in the app. Again, a thumbs up, thumbs down, like micro ratings versus like, here's what I want this app to do. But it has that option to just send in a message. So that's what it's doing. I will spend thousands of hours building something to save $15 a month. That's about where I'm at, because let's see, I have Canny in campgrounds, camp notes. So if I go to settings here, apparently I'm asking a million times for this, so this is wrong. I should probably fix that. So we go to settings, report a bug. Yeah, it's just powered by Canny. But when you go to add something, oh, I guess you can just report a bug with it just being like not put in. Anyway, Canny costs money, right? Like I said, they're gonna get rid of my plans. I only get 25 tracked users. I have more users than that. It's time to, and I'm guessing that my projects, like I can't have 2 different projects coming up, or boards or whatever they're called. I don't know what they're called. Anyway, it's gonna be time to get off of them because that is $19 a month, $24 a month. You know, might as well. 25 is basically 0. Exactly. Might as well spend the time to make my own. And also, again, if I build this in a way that other users can get on it, it turns into WishKit, right? Like I think he built it for himself. It works for him, and then he like built out, you know, to get other people on it. If I can, again, just make enough to like pay for the DigitalOcean droplet it's going to be on, great. I also thought about like if this ends up working well enough for at least me, and I can't figure out how to scale it to other users besides like the one user that gets created, I could sell it as like a host, like a one-time license deal. So right, like you just pay me like $30 and I go and you get like the source code or whatever, that kind of thing. Like that could also like deploy your own, like a template basically for you to set up, and it's everything else is here and it works with the Swift package, but you get the like the $30 covers the template plus and then again the access to the Swift package is just free or whatever built in. Anyway, I don't know, I gotta get this working first before I even get there, so that's always a fun thing. Yeah, but yeah, chunk it on serverless. Yeah, my plan is to put it on DigitalOcean because that's where my current server is, and it's great. It works. I really need to get rid of the heyj.coffee stuff. I let a domain slide. I'm actually, because I'm lazy, tempted to bring it just back. I do like the heyj.coffee. I might bring it back instead of deleting it, removing it. We'll see. Your server bill is still 0. Nice. My DigitalOcean bill is like $10 a month, I think. But that's also including that is including a bit here. I probably shouldn't. So I have this coffee supply, which is basically a it's a droplet to allow users to, when user to grant entitlements to my iHog users, like the previous users of it, when they download, grandfathered users, that kind of thing. And then that, and then I also have storage that I use. I use what's called Dropshare. It's really cool. I just put in photos and stuff that I want to share, and then I get links to it. So if I don't even know what that one is. So I can just like, I now have this link. It is linked to, it's in one of these DigitalOcean spaces, and then I can drop it here. And if you go there, you'll see that same URL, that same photo I just opened. I do it for photos. I do it for what is it? Anyway, I do it for lots of things. It's neat. I like it. Dropshare is part of the setup subscription, and it just connects to, like I said, the DigitalOcean droplet. So it makes it easy. All right. Where are we? I'm currently have a thing to pull. So yeah, so that's why my DigitalOcean stuff. I'll probably increase that cost, obviously, once this launches, because I'll have a separate app going on it. It's another Hummingbird app. I'll have another app on it, and then I will have to get the database, which you're like $30 a month. I will probably be about, I don't know what I'll be at. I have no idea. We'll see what happens there, actually, completely. Do I have pull requests open? No, I don't. Okay, so what was the last thing I did? What was the last thing I did? Tell me, please. Subscription service. No. Yes. Okay. Oh, that one didn't work. That's fine. Let's go into tasks and see what's going on. Okay, so the last one I did was 18. We refactored app service, or I did a create subscription service. So now I need to refactor app service to do subscription service, it looks like, because if we go into app service, it's basically checking it. It's doing its own thing to check its own limits, which it doesn't need to, because subscription service does all that. It takes in the user repository, the app repository, the usage tracking repository. It can get the current plan. It can create the app. Like, it can check if the user can create the app or not based on the plan. Again, I like to plan with monetization, whether or not it's actually useful, or whether or not I actually am going to like monetize this way. We'll see. I can always rip it out. Monthly submission limits. If the user has exceeded the limits. All right. Feel like that's fine. So I can re-architect app service. Let's go back into tasks where I was. Let's do this. So this is exactly how I've been coding the whole app. I create first we're gonna clear out all the chats. Cool. Then we're gonna just copy the task that I want to do, and we're gonna go make a plan first. So then I have this. I need to, oh, whoops. Oh no, what's going on? Things start deleting. It's awful. Can you please make a plan following at plan/readme to implement task 18.5 fully. Make sure to look at the existing code base and tests so that those changes are accounted for. I've noticed sometimes when I have it make a plan, it doesn't actually review like my existing code to make sure that the proper implementation is going to happen. Like, and make sure that it's integrating correctly, which is a little annoying. I think it should be able to do that, like, without me saying, hey, go look at it. Hey, okay, now make sure that the tests are going to be actually accounted for, but we'll see. But I haven't found that the case, to be honest, at all. All right. It is planning the next moves. Alright, so it should make a plan here. As you can see, I've made several plans because, like I said, I've been just doing this. This is how I've been building the app. I give it a plan, say what it's going to happen, and we try to make it happen. This is that README file that I was like, hey, you need to follow. How to make a plan. We add the front matter that I want. The created at and completed at must be an actual timestamp. If you don't instruct the AI to tell it to create the actual timestamp, like with the command, it will not do it, and it will just make up a timestamp, which is annoying. Give it a title, overview, outline steps, but I don't want all the code. Like, I don't need it to think through the implementation. I just need it to give me like the code snippet. So are there certain enums? Are there certain like functions, properties that need to be there, that kind of thing. And then I also had a thing where previously like plans would, whenever I first was building out the plans, they would start with like, well, we really need to decide, you need to decide, is it this way or this way? And then the plan just kind of like didn't really decide and made it wishy-washy. So then it added extra steps, and the plan was just not an actual plan that you could follow and implement. So what I end up doing is I added this step, which was plans should not have any or options in them. They need to only have decisions. And if there are any questions while making the plan, it needs to be highlighted, and it needs to you need to basically ask it back and get an answer before you actually write the plan. And that has made it actually just decide. And if it's wrong, then I go back through and I ask, and then I go back through and I work with it to make sure it's right, which is totally fine. It works. I don't mind the working with it to construct the actual proper plan. It's helped me realize like where things go wrong, which is why there is this 18.5 issue that we're solving right now. Because if there wasn't, because I realized that I also had it generate all the tasks for me, and I was like, an implementation order, and it had the subscription service after the app service. So as I was planning, I didn't actually see the forethought of like subscription service being used in app service until I got to building the subscription service. I was like, wait, we've already built all of this. And I was like, oh yeah, you're right. Let's refactor it to use subscription service. So here we are. All right, so refactor app service, use subscription service. Here's the overview. As a dependency, great. Provider parameter, user repository provider, store, remove the user repository. Sounds right. So we'll have the app repository, we'll have the source. Okay. So we're gonna replace the implementation. Let's open up app service here so that we can just see an idea of what's going on. So the first thing it said, I really wish it would just open where I wanted it. All right. The first thing it said to do was refactor the check app limit. So we're gonna replace the entire check app limit method body call here. What's the point of this though? Anyway, hold on. So it checks if the user has reached their subscription. So it throws the app service app limit reached error if that's the case. Okay, so I guess that's fine. Makes sense. Because of how like detailed actually this code has kind of been, it looks right. Verify error handling. It's not. I actually haven't done anything besides that, but that's fine. We'll let that be a step 5. Yeah. This is part of tests. Is this not part of tests? Please answer without. Please answer without changing anything. I am asking to, since you checked the whole code base. The hard part is if I ask a question, like instantly it wants to change things, and that's not necessarily what I want. Okay, yes, error handling is part of tests, and great, so we can probably delete it then. Please remove steps that are checklist items and not actual implementation. So it looks like, I mean, it literally said step 4 is a reminder checklist item. I don't want reminders and checklist items in here. That makes no sense. I just want actual implementation. This looks great. I think it's right. So let's go ahead and ask it to implement it. Can you please implement at refactor app service? And it should just implement it then. As that's going to happen, I am going to make a new branch for this. And for issues, I think I made an issue for it. I did not. Refactor app service to use subscription service. Sure. Where is the task? Again, that is the README. And basically I should be paying more attention to what's going to be output, but once it's output, I go back and check it. So we'll go and reevaluate as it is. But a lot of this is so I can, so I can do other stuff and make sure that things are properly accounted for. Get back in here. Refactor, labels, enhancement. Not really. Milestones, alpha, create. And then there should be a label of status in progress. All right, so code looks correct. Let's go. Okay, so I actually let the AI run tests for me as well here. So that's what we're doing here. Swift build. It's just gonna run the AI. It looks like it's a success for that. What are we doing here? And now we're gonna do the tests. So it's gonna go through and actually run the tests, which is great. Looks good. Sweet. Did we not just run the tests? Oh, it had an issue. So we can see there's an actual issue when it ran. Does not conform to expected type subscription service provider. I don't know why it didn't, but okay. Oh, stop. So this is like a little bit of an issue because it's like, oh, I'm trying to build a test to do test. So this is where it gets stuck and where it's important to check. So if you see, like, it's saying there's a test failure here. But there's a bunch of issues like popping up that should be fixed first before that. And I thought it said there was an error. So let's try running Swift build real quick and make sure that that error doesn't actually pop up. All right, so it lied. There is no error. I thought there was, but we're good. And then we'll go fix the other issues here in a bit. But first, I want to get all these taken care of, and then we'll go. I like to do the check testing myself, because I have a very specific way I like for the test to be written. All right, so we can create app. We check this. So if not can create. So if can create is false, then the user has reached their app limit. Else, and we throw that error. Catch let, subscription error. If there's other errors, we're gonna catch it. Great. I guess that was the only thing that it needed to do. All right, so this is where things get not nearly as fun. So I don't think we actually need a lot of what happens. Keep that. We know we're gonna have a subscription service. The subscription service can be empty. Oh, we're going too fast. So I don't actually need this user anymore because we're not trying to create a whole thing. Keep that. Through this. That's fine. We can get rid of that. Subscription service. User ID. Wait, but why? I don't like when it does this because this is not, as I said, I like to undo that. Do things a bit differently than this light. So we can see this user's unused here. Instead of doing user ID, it should be user dot ID. This should be user dot ID. We'll go back and we'll fix it. Let's just get these changes fixed first and then go back and do some changes that make a lot more sense. We just need the subscription service to pass in. Oh, because we no longer have to check the... If we're just returning the info, do we actually even need to check the tier? Test check app limit free tier? I guess we should check this. I see. Okay, so that's how I made it so that we can mock out results correctly. Okay. Do we limit state? This looks okay. Sure. I don't like when it creates UUIDs like that and it's not using proper apps and user IDs. Like it's using a UUID, which is fine, but it's not using a proper like app user. Which, in my opinion, it should, but I guess it doesn't really matter. What else is still in here? Why am I making a mock subscription service? So I don't quite, and this was me not reading the plan. The plan did mention having a mock subscription service, but I don't know if that's necessarily the best way, like what I want to do. Because I don't think it actually needs to happen that way. So, but I'm already I guess I already have tests in for the subscription service, so it's fine to do this. Yeah, I guess so. That's fine. But these don't need to be public. Oh, it does need to be public though, because of the subscription service provider is public. I hate that. Like that I don't like that at all. It's just not necessary, in my opinion. Okay, so I see how what it's doing for the test. I guess that's fine. It makes it cleaner and easier to test, I guess. Let's go to testing. All right, so it looks like that should work. Undo that. It's fine. And we'll go ahead and get rid of user here, and we'll just simplify the apps more. Do I need user? It looks like it's being used now. We'll just run through all the service tests real quick. It shouldn't take long. It's never taken longer than like 20 seconds. And the only reason it probably takes 20 seconds right now, it only takes extra long, is because my computer is running lots of things. Okay, so we have different tests going on with failures. What is going on here? So there's unexpected issues. Can you please run the tests and fix the errors that come up? It looks like errors are not being returned properly. So here we got this error for some reason. I mean, we should have, but it looks like it's not wrapping the error properly. Like, it shouldn't have been a repository error to begin with. It should have... Where is app service again? App service, come back. Yes, so if let app service error as app service error. Oh, but this isn't catching the... Hold on. Where did the tests go again? Service tests for the free tier limit reached. Okay, so I think the change it wants to make isn't actually still gonna make the test pass, right? So we want to make sure that it's I think this test checks that the app limit reached error is thrown for a free tier user with one app. So it should not get, well, it shouldn't get here at all, and it shouldn't get here. So we should get here to where it just passes right through, and that's not what's happening. So we have this error which says All right, we're back. Okay, sorry. And I'm saying the Can Create app, I did look over and I saw that the things were, that I thought I saw the things move and then it didn't. Okay, so we can true. So if Can Create is, if the app count is less than that, then it should be fine. But I still don't think this is actually like it didn't hit here. This threw an error. So I'm going to say it still isn't going to actually help what's happening though. What is going on? Is it not? It's just going to freeze. Send. All right. Yeah, eventually I will also buy a new mic cable so that, and see if that fixes things. Returns false. We throw app service error inside. I really just wish it would let me do what I want to do inside the do block, but the generic catch wraps it. We should rethrow directly. I still don't think that is gonna. Okay. Oh, so it does make here, we have to rethrow the error. Okay, I get it. So that makes sense. Never mind. Yeah, it was right. Believe it or not, the AI was right, and my brain was not thinking. All right, all tests are passing, but now are all my like linting warnings fixed? Looks like it. Let's just run the test again just to be safe, because I want all of these to go away. Great. Done. Sweet. Can you please mark the plan as complete and use the timestamp of now for the completed at. Make sure to generate the timestamp. Okay, I actually never finished making the branch. Create new branch. What is the branch number? The branch number is, the PR is 69. What fun it is to put this in right now. Refactor app service. Great. Yes, run. I should put that on the allow list so it can just run all the time, but here we are. Great. Great, and then one last thing is, can you thanks for this. Can you please write git commits and stage files according to commit rule. I have this git commit rule here. So all git commit messages must follow the standard set in the README. So if we go to the README, there is, this might be wrong now. Where are we? Prereqs, setup, Linux, contributing. In the contributing doc, I talk about following commit messages. I should probably just point that out in according to contributing, because there are examples of how this should work, and such, and like the commit messages that the different types that I use inside here, so that certain things work. Can you please write git commits and stage files according to blank, to make sure the work is separated into properly grouped commits. See, git status is fine. I don't mind about git status being in there. Git diff either, but I don't want to do git commit as like in the allow list. All right, so refactor, update, great, run. And then this is gonna add the test, add mock, sure. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. Tests, app service tests. Sweet. And this should just be docs mark completed. All right, and then one last thing. Let's push this up. So this push takes a little bit. So I just pushed it to Git via the bottom screen of my cursor. So it's pushing up to Git. Now this takes a little bit because I actually have it running in, I set up a Git hook that what it does is, hold on. Oh my goodness, where is the files? Support. All right, so I have this Git hook. So on a pre-push hook, what it's going to do is it's going to actually run Swift build in a Docker container to make sure that Swift can build for Linux. I got caught up in a couple times where I wanted to use Swift, like a specific type, but it's only available on Mac OS and not on Linux, so then it failed my tests. So instead of letting those tests fail and me not know until I push it up and wasting like GitHub actions to make sure those tests run properly, I now run them as a Docker in the Docker container here first before I push, and if it fails, the push should fail. I haven't actually tried to make sure it fails, but that's what should happen. So now if we go here, we should see a new a new git commit. All right, so one last thing. Can you please use the GitHub CLI to make a pull request against main, I think against is the right word, using the @pull request template as for the PR body. Run, run, run. Closes number 69. Refactor. So the key is that the title, if you were like, the title matches the same conventional commit style, which is nice. But why this needed, related documentation. Great, that'll lay it in back properly. Run. And now it's ready for review, which like I kind of reviewed it already as it comes through. But we can see the refactors are here. This includes 69, which is nice. I can go remove. I should have one more thing I wonder if this is possible to make a GitHub action that will remove any status that starts, any label that starts with status. Hold on. Create a GitHub action to remove status labels. So, this GitHub action should do the following. Remove any, as I was saying, remove any label on an issue that starts with status if the pull request that is recently merged, yeah, that is merged. If the pull request that is merged closes that issue. Add a label status so should the label, so if I were to just close a PR without finishing it, instead of, should it just say on in progress? I guess so. That should just be manual. Labels, and this is gonna be a chore. Great. Not a must-have, not a must-do, lower priority. They're not make priorities. No, I just have status. Should I make priority? So what? We have P0, which is highest priority, right? And then what? Like a P2, and then a P4, lowest, and then P2 is mid. Sounds right. It's fine. We don't actually need priorities. Just does not block. This issue should not be thought about until after alpha. Cool. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Alright, well, one issue done, y'all. That was fun. Oh, right. Pollute PR, we need to. So this is still going through the tests. It should pass, hopefully. The tests just take a bit of time to run. The tests only run when the Swift files change. So when I change like the docs and stuff, it doesn't matter. Let's just do the next one. What am I on? Well, that's going, because that should be fine. All right. So 18.5 is done. 19, we're going to create the feedback service. Okay, so this is a really big service. So the feedback, like I said, it's going to handle thumbs up, thumbs down, messages. It's also going to allow user send back, like, get a list of feedbacks like for a specific user of the app, all that good stuff. So this is actually a really big like service to make. So another way that I actually finish off, that I actually make tasks, I basically do the exact same thing, make the plan, all the jazz, and then I go through, and instead of letting it implement all at once, I'm gonna go through step by step and make sure that it's actually on track for doing what the task is actually asking. So let's do that. What is the issue for that though? feedback service. In progress. Let's create a branch. It doesn't matter. Copy the branch name. Wrong thing. All right, let's make this plan. And then after this, all of the like business logic is actually done for the app, and it's a matter of making controllers, which is kind of cool. Like, I think I've been working on it for like a week-ish. Oh, whoops. So whenever it's time to make a new plan, always start a brand new chat. You want the context to be short. You want it to be focused. I've been using Composer 1. This is Cursor's agentic coding model. It's been working fine. Usually I default whenever I'm doing like work stuff. I go to Sonnet. Sometimes I even just let it be on auto because like it's good enough, and I usually work enough back and forth that like it's okay. So we're gonna go back to Sonnet. Please create a plan, and we're gonna go back to auto. Let it make this plan to implement task 19. Yeah, this should be enough. Actually, I'm gonna ask first, do you have enough information in task 19 to create a plan according to readme the plans? And the only reason I'm going to ask first is because, again, this is a very complicated like logic. Also, by asking this question, it makes the model, whatever model it's listening for, context start to fill up a bit more with more info about like what the code base does. Maybe there's other plans that you can go look back into with like what should have been done, what has been done, like the tests and such. So that's what's going on here, is like I've asked the question, trying to understand and make sure it has enough info and everything that it needs to create a solid plan to build this feedback service. I feel like I'm yelling, so I'm gonna start trying to quiet down because my wife is also trying to sleep, so I probably shouldn't be yelling. I, again, felt like I was yelling, so sorry if that was really loud, and if I need to bump the mic back up, let me know. I'm gonna try to talk, like I said, a little bit quieter, because again, I don't want to yell. Alright, it's still just planning on how to answer, looking through things, that kind of thing. Alright, so what's clear? I don't care about what's clear. Minor clarifications needed. Needs to derive user ID from the source. Likely. Yep. Okay. These are implementation details that can be resolved during planning by following existing patterns. Okay. Great. It's not yelling, it's being passionate about the thing you're doing. That's fair. That is true. I am very passionate about what I'm doing right now. But to her, it's yelling because she's trying to sleep because it's 10:30 at night my time. But my passion is too loud. Exactly. And it's just a smidge too loud. It can be. Hence, you know, the new keyboard. I was really passionate about mechanical keyboards. I still am. But it was too loud at night. So, trying to solve that problem. If I make it better, make life better, makes it easier to keep doing. Alright, so these look fine. Looks like there's enough info. So let's do, okay, cool. Sounds good. Then let's make a plan to implement a plan for task 19. Solving loud keyboards with a little bit of a magic keyboard. Exactly. It's easy to solve loud keyboards when you get just buy a small buy the Magic Keyboard, and it's quieter. Is this where I want it? Y'all, I figured out how to switch. Hold on. Unchecked. There we go. My camera is back in the proper mirror. Now when I look over to my right and I'm looking at chat, it does not look like I'm looking to the edge of the screen. That is all I wanted to do. I don't know why it did not do that before. I could not find that answer, but there we are. I have found it. That's not what I was looking for, though. I was looking for the one of these, the sound effects, but I don't see a nice little like magic sound. I was looking for like a shimmery type magic sound, but I don't have one. Preemptive tap in case the mic went out. Getting ready for that. Trying to avoid that. Sorry if the tap was out. All right, let's... Sometimes I wish I could read as it's writing, like the actual document, and just be ready to understand what's going on before it just shows me all at once, but that's not how this happens. All right. We have the plan. Review the next file. Implement feedback service. Service orchestrates, enables the public feedbacks. Submission endpoint. Greet. Source identifier. So we create a feedback service error, which is what we always do. Source is not found. Feedback not found. Access denied. Doesn't have permission to access the feedback needed. Yeah, that's right. Okay. I was just trying to think, is that like a feedback service thing, or is that like a different like service thing? But I think this is fine. Like a different, like if it was like auth service or like user service to make sure. I'm just kind of thinking like middleware type situation or something, but I think it's okay. Wraps errors from the repository layer. Each case should have an associated value where appropriate. So source not found, string for the identifier, feedback not found for the feedback ID. Okay, we need to use I saw this. We need to add in a step to make the feedback ID type that follows at user ID and at app ID. I like to use these smaller types to ensure type safety. I don't want to accidentally pass the wrong UUID type to a function. So basically, this is like a little bit of I read about this concept called like type-driven design, and this is like a smaller way to do this. Is having a this feedback ID type. So I'm always passing around feedback IDs instead of UUIDs. That way I know the type I'm dealing with rather than it's again just a random UUID. Again, if it was just a random UUID, a user ID could technically fit into that feedback ID and definitely would not work then. It requires for me to still map properly at some point, but it still makes me feel a little bit better and a little bit more type safety to know that I can connect those two. Okay, so for type safety, we're gonna create the feedback. Great. Feedback ID. The source not found string. So this is the identifier. I need to make one for the source identifier, but the source identifier is like the app ID and the user. It's like a random that I don't really quite have a good grasp on yet how to make that. I guess I could just do it with a string passed in. I'll need to, let's make a issue for this. Create type for source identifier. This is a wrapper type for a string that represents a source dot ID. Is that right? No, a source dot identifier. Oops. And basically it's like this identifier, like off the bat, is I think it's just a UUID is what I make. Where'd it go? Where do I make those? It might, oh, it's probably an app service. There is a create app, list users, create, delete, create source. That's what I'm looking for. Inside. Yeah, so in create source, it's basically just going to make a random UUID string. So it's just a string. The reason it's a string and not actually a UUID is in case I wanted to make this anything at some point. So kind of like think of it like in Firebase, you have your identifier for your project. That's exactly what this is. So the UUID is just giving me like a random string. I don't have to keep it as a UUID. I can make it whatever I want, but that's what that is. That represents a source.identifier. I will need to refactor some parts of the code, like feedback service dot error to use this type and other places. Projects, I don't care about projects actually. That is gonna be an alpha, but it's a low priority. Hi Lumberjack Studs, how's it going? What's up? Priority mid? Like, I want that to get done, but it shouldn't take priority over getting everything else done. The feedback ID just did, because I guess I could just add this as getting it done. Also. All peace, just hanging out here. Good, good. Well, hopefully, I mean, welcome in. We're just working on some code stuff. That kind of thing. Oops. I also noticed I don't have this type of wrapper for source.identifier, and I believe I need it. Can you add this to step 1 also and rename step 1? And then adjust the plan to do that. I have not tried Google's anti-gravity. I saw that came out recently, like today, right? Or like this week. that that's their code editor? Yeah, I just saw that this came out. I haven't tried it. Everything, I love that everything, though, all the new code editors, like IDE editors, are like coming off of, it looks like VS Code still, again. Huh. Intuitively integrate feedback across services and artifacts to guide and refine agents' work. I mean, it looks cool. I could give it a try. What's the pricing on it? Individual plan. I don't have team plans. That's fine. You get all the models. Generous rate limits, asterisks. I can give it a try. Sure, why not? We'll download it. Alright, so create type safe ID wrappers. Sweet. Alright, so then that's great. Feedback service. This will be taken care of in. I'll make sure to commit that step myself. So I can link and close the GitHub issue with it. Feedback service provider. We're gonna do it off the source ID. Enter, because it's a lot easier, and we'll go back through and work on it. All right, so step 3, we're gonna update the service provider. Right, so the service provider is currently empty. So we need to make sure we do the submit feedback with the source identifier. Submit feedback response. Do we have that? Oh, hey, look, I do. I guess we should have another init. I have a public init. Oh, but these. See, this is where like my domain-driven design kind of falls apart a little bit, because I don't want models to be there. Or sorry, not I don't, but like the so models is its own package, and services depends on models. I guess I could do a extension. So we'll just do responses. Right. New file. Submit feedback response dot swift. Import models. Whoops. Nope. Just models. Extension. Submit. And then we'll do an edem here. So it's gonna take in the ID. Dot raw value. Oh, cool. I can just do this. Not. Yeah, and then, okay, so we'll just do that, and then I'll make another init, and it'll be fine. Okay, so let's delete that. Where'd the plan go? I need the plan to come back. All right, so for the request and responses, we need to make extensions that have inits that will utilize our type wrappers that we are making in this plan. Go away. Did it finish? Did it download? Oh, it did. Sweet. I'm always down to try new things. It could be good. It could be cool. That's copying. Taking 10 seconds, but hold on. Alright, so create DTO extensions with type safety. Great. Sweet. Alright, so that's gonna allow for that to happen. Feedback filters, paginations. Should be fine. Alright. Add count method to feedback repository, so we're gonna have to do that. Add tests for the repository. Sweet. We're gonna also, this sounds silly, the way that I do my repository tests, I also have a mock that I need to do. Part of step 6. Or maybe a new step. Oh no. You missed creating a test for the mock repository. The only reason that I have to test the mocks is because the way that state is managed is weird, and I want to make sure that the mock state updates as it should properly. Again, if I'm expecting other users to do this, I should probably have proper tests in place. Great. Then we're going to implement helper methods. Oh, sure. Yeah, that's fine. Sounds like that is needed. Multiple service methods. Need to check if a user has access to an app. Okay. Implement the feedback service. So these are going to be on the service itself. Can you add testing the helper functions before step 8? So I like to implement and then test and then implement and then test. So the helper methods still need to be tested, even though they're just helper methods. There's no reason they should not be tested. I feel like I spend just as much time like building this plan as I would like coding it probably, but it is helping me get a much better understanding of what is going to be built, even if I'm not going to be the one that actually writes most of the code. Okay, so we're going to test. Great. Helper methods. Awesome. Then we're going to implement the service. So we have the submit feedback. We're going to validate the source identifier exists. If source is not found, we're going to throw errors. Then we're going to get the user ID and create the feedback domain model. Great. List is going to give everything. Defaults to 50, max is 100. Okay, I don't care necessarily. I mean, I care, but like, it's fine. Is there a way to make feedback response and be return with my wrapper types? Easily, I know my wrapper types are not in the right target, so maybe not, but maybe so. Alright, so that was called Anti-Gravity, like the new ID we just downloaded. I just downloaded. Let's see what happens. I probably should wait and not open it on stream because I'm guessing it's gonna have me log in and stuff, but let's see what happens. Cursor, yeah. I thought it said I could import my settings. Ew, what's the difference? Alright, I need to go and read what these are real quick. But also, because I don't know what these are. Docs? Getting started. Okay, it's just basic navigation. Agent modes and settings. Alright, so in anti-gravity agent, how is this gonna work? Okay, but what are these different, how do you want to use? So what is the difference between agent-driven development, agent-assisted development? It should tell me somewhere. Or am I just supposed to know? Because that's kind of lame if I'm just supposed to know. So these are different models. So it can plan, it can have conversations, this sounds right. Okay, so agent manager? No. Huh. And I guess I can choose one. Okay, so it will never request for a review. I like review-driven development, I'm guessing, because I want to ask. A review policy, request always. I guess we'll just go with the defaults. I mean, that's what it's supposed to be, right? Sure. Where am I? Developer. Fetch kit web. Always trust. Because I am the author. Alright, let's finish this over here though. Let's finish the plan. And then we're gonna keep, and then we'll go from there. By replacing these in the models target. Okay, so it's wanting me to move it to the models target. No, hold on. Update the plan to replace the property wrapper types in the model targets. I didn't ask you to do that. I think I want option 2. Option 2 with the computed property. As those models should be fine. Wait, actually, do those response and request models even need to be in models? Can they be in services? Right? Yeah, so like the idea here, models like goes across all of them. Like top level, like if we had, hold on. Nutterfy is super good at this, and I need to be better. Where did this go? Fetch kit. Because he is a master diagrammer. We are diagramming because it makes it a lot easier to understand what I'm doing. Swift packages. All right. So we got some Swift packages here. Let's just give it here. So we have models, or targets, I guess is actually what they are. Undo it all. We are, I mean, freeform is free, right? It's included on all the Macs. It makes sense. I just have the Figma subscription, so I just use Figma for my stuff. All right, so here we go. I don't really care about dependencies right now. Let's just get the different targets. So we have app. Or we have, yeah, app. Can we have extra large? Yeah. Yeah, I would use Freeform also if I didn't have Figma, to be honest. I've also tried Freeform a bit, and I like it, but I like Figma a little bit more for this, but again, budget, right? Like Freeform is free and it can do this, so it's totally like doable. I would do it all the time. Then we have models. I also like doing Freeform if I wanted to Nutter's trigger word, diagrams. I would also do Freeform if I wanted to do it on my iPad also, because then I could just do both. But like it's a lot easier to do Freeform on the iPad than it is FigJam. Instead of going back and forth, I'm gonna drag this off screen so y'all can't see it, but that's okay. Models, utilities. What's next? Oh my god, what happened? Then we have data management. Big one there. Services. I guess tests don't really matter. Okay. So app, this is like the center of the center of the app. Coordinates everything. Coordinates everything. Anyway, it's top level, right? Nothing. App is not a dependency. App depends on everything else. App is not a dependency for anything else, though. So then we have models. This one should be pretty easy also to understand. Like these are like data models that are shared between repositories, that are shared between files here, between packages. So in theory, we could have models go to app, we could have models go to data management, and we can have models go to service, right? Then we have utilities. Utilities is, again, one of those that's going to share to everything. This is, think of it like, what do I currently have in here? Man, I even have utilities tests. Talk about testing. Testing all over the place. I thought the test would be actually quite helpful because I'm building everything with AI, basically. So we have utilities. So we have different date extensions, JSON coders, time periods. So again, things that are going to be used basically by every app, every little package. So we're going to go put them in data management, going to put them in services. We can, in theory, put them into models. The idea is that models can, utilities can literally go anywhere and be anywhere. The key thing is that they don't talk back. So like services can't go back into models, right? So let me see if I can make this now a little bit happier. These are on the same level, right? I'll go that way. Then we have services and data management. Now, this is where the fun part ends, is that data management, this is going to be more like database access. So this is where Postgres queries happen. So these also contains what are we containing here? Repositories. Database specific models. There we go. Cool. That kind of thing. So we get repositories, database specific models. The idea is that these will never go into app. These will go into services. One that's not made yet that I forgot about is our controllers. Oops. So these are going to be like routes. Go away. Wrong one. So like if I wanted to do /app/ I had it in a plan. Hold on. Or in a tasks, APIs, endpoints. So like, to get my magic links. Examples. Like that, right? So they're just different routes I can have. I don't like how small the text is. Hold on, I will fix this. So it's at least a little bit easier to read. All right, so yeah, different routes, examples. Also another one would be, let's do feedback, endpoints. Where'd the top one go? Submitting the feedback specifically, right? So that kind of thing. That's what controllers is. So, but what ends up happening is that services depends on data management. Yeah, so services talks to, so data management and services talk together back and forth. They have bidirectional communication. But controllers and data management will never talk to each other. Like I will never I should never import data management into controllers. Instead, services and controllers will be what communicates together. Right? And then from here, how this hooks up is it's going to be connected into the app. Oh, messy. Okay, so, but what I'm thinking here is these models, because the models that come off of services never go back into data management, right? Like, I don't think. Hold on, I say that. Let me make sure. So like if we go into like feedback repository. So the repositories are what controls all the Postgres commands. This could get more detailed here. So like if we go, I could probably make a section over here. Section. Nope. It's data management, and we can just put in repository. Anyway, repositories make all of these, and then they communicate with Postgres Neo backend. But I don't think they ever, so it returns a feedback. I don't think they ever do like responses. So if I do like a feedback response, they shouldn't, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So this is gonna go, they're found in plans a lot. So feedback list response is still a DTO and responses. And here, so I think because they're only going to be used inside services, like they're not used in repositories, we can actually remove the models, the different models. So we had in here, yeah, this actually makes sense now. So inside models, we had DTOs. What else did we have? We had domains. So like, and then we also had, that was it, I think. Oh, just standard enums and protocols that are shared throughout. Imagine that these are going to be used in services, so it would make, yeah. So these enums, these like feedback status, I believe are used in both, yeah, like the database feedback, and then also in the repository, and then it'll also be used in the service. So the reason those have to be in there as well, but hold on, let's. My diagramming is not nearly as nice as Netterfire's, but it gets the job done. We have enums shared. And we also have protocols, which I think this protocols should probably actually live in utilities, to be honest. Let's change them to medium and make them like that. Getting way too detailed here, and it doesn't really matter. Dashed. What color? And doesn't matter. Okay, so that's what like models holds. So I think we can probably move these DTOs because they aren't completely used between different things. I wonder if models is actually even needed. Well, the enum shared kind of needs it, but does it? Yes, because I want models. I want these models to be able to go right here directly. Solid. Can you? Solid line. Arrow. All right, yeah. So, because I want these models to be able to come in here so that feedback status can be made directly and then taken into services. But if I'm already importing service, do I actually need this models? I guess I would only need models if I ever don't have services, right? Oh, it's my backpack. I thought I was kicking an animal. I'm getting too in the weeds. It doesn't really matter. These are just type safety. I'm just trying to make my type driven design work. That's really what's happening is I'm just trying to make my type driven design work, and it's going to be frustrating. Because like this app ID isn't even an app ID, it's a UUID. Really, these like wrapper types should be in models. Okay, well I just talked myself into moving the wrapper types into models. Right. Great. I love when I do that to myself. Let's update this. Okay. Great. So I'm glad that thanks y'all for listening to that ramble a bit. That and color again doesn't matter, but it matters to me apparently. Let's do these as sure. Green makes sense, I guess. And then I want this as blue. My favorite color is blue, so we're gonna make that blue. And then we'll do model connections. I guess gray is fine. Let's make these be different colors because they are technically targets, but they're not. But these are targets that go everywhere, right? They're not just targets for that have like logic. They're more so standalone targets. I think protocols should probably move into utilities, but we're gonna leave it at models. Okay, so I made a mistake and I canceled all that. Can you please reapply the changes of moving the wrapper types into models? Thanks, Nutter. I appreciate your support. on my diagramming. I am trying. I think it does help map out like the brain. I feel like I could make them better if I put in more like comments. Like I had that whole dialogue of like, oh no, they should be in models. Why should they be in models? Because controllers should just import models directly instead of having to rely on services to bring it in. Like I'd rather have explicit dependencies in that way. I guess I should write this down. On models for explicit dependencies. Another reason is because this will also make life easier when there is a Swift package for iOS and macOS apps to gather feedback. If the models are separated out, I can very easily extract them into their own package at that point. Which is what I need to think about also. Okay, can yes, we need to reapply those changes because that was not. Oh no. It's funny, sometimes I'm like, no, we need to do the opposite of what AI says. And then I come around to it. I'm like, no, I need to do what AI says because it makes sense. I just have to get there. I have to get on the same page first and everything is fine. To use in the domain and DTO types. No? Yeah, so it was saying that we could keep them there. We can keep them in services, but that doesn't really make sense. We don't really want to keep them in services. We want them to also move as well, because then the initializers can work properly, which is what I want. I want the DTOs and I want the responses and models to use the proper types, or else like what's the point of making the types? Put that. I don't need that open. Okay, I think that's right. Responses, we're gonna use the app ID, user ID. Are there others that I'm using in that way? I'm sure there are. Email, name, and token should also move there, but that's fine for right now. Okay. Count, we've already done that. We've already done that. We don't want to... Oh, yeah. So the repositories are using raw values. The repositories don't need to know about the wrapper types or use the wrapper types. Like once they get to the repository level, we've already type checked. We've already gone through the DTOs. So they are fine and safe to just be normal types. To be their raw values, basically. Again, this is like stuff that's like just random notes that I don't quite know where to put. Is there like a... I guess here, repositories. Repositories do not need to use the wrapper types. They can use raw values as they do not reach they can use raw values as they have already been type secure through services. Okay. Store app ID from the, hold on. We're gonna get the user ID, source.app ID. Okay. Is that source dot? App ID source should already have an app ID. Source should have an actual app ID property type. The domain models should use, can you make sure to update that all domain models in this service must use the wrapper types. And this way I'm gonna go step by step after I get this plan written. So again, this is like how I don't believe that like people are really like this is why like working with AI is almost just as much like coding as it is like takes up as much time, because I'm still just planning and understanding like what's going on rather than just letting it go. If you just let it go, you end up with a spaghetti code, and like I'm dealing with that in camp notes for a bit of it, and it's a mess. Increment uses tracking via repository.increment count, convert user ID to UID. Yep, that's right. No. Database models should still use proper raw value types. I do not want them to use. The database models will continue to use raw UIDs, and the conversion happens in. Okay, great. That's fine. That's exactly what I wanted. Does feedback repository not have that? Create feedback? I thought it did. Convert user ID for app call. Alright, I think those are fine. Tests are probably fine enough. Okay, but like, why? The rapper types. I'm not really understanding the notes that they were giving me. In step 7, it literally, or where is it? In step 9, it says to create the feedback. Oh, via. Okay. I'm just gonna erase the note. But I'm not understanding why I thought it needed to write that at the same point. No, I think it's still... No, you've made this... It's made it more complicated. Yes, that is right. That's what I want. It's fine. Repositories continue to use raw UUIDs in their method signatures and SQL queries. The conversion between wrapper types and UUIDs happens at the service layer boundary. When calling repository methods from the service, convert wrapper types. When repositories return domain models via domain to wrapper types. Yes. Okay, that's great. Sweet. I think this all makes sense. Can you do one pass over to make sure these steps are now logical and nothing with the wrapper types versus raw values are weird in all the steps? Really hard to define weird, but wrong, I guess, is what I would say. And then after this, the plan's made. I'm actually probably going to end up being done, and I'll end up going to bed. But yeah. I am. But I want to get the plan actually finished and roughed in first. I guess I could. As we copy link to page. Let's add this in. In the README under documentation. Oh, where should I feel like it should go in architecture docs. Tech stack, target structure, dependency flow. Oh, I guess this was actually made in whatever. It's fine. FigJam explaining with another diagram. We must also update the corresponding. Great. Oh my goodness. 2 domain models. Okay. Looks right. Update the feedback repository. Update feedback. Willing to extract UIDs. I thought I said that repositories do not deal with... Oh no, that makes sense because it's going to take in the domain type, I guess. Well, is there a way to go from domain? Okay, so I think another step missing here is going from a domain to database models. Like in step, oh, was it 9? Yeah, in step 9, dot 5, and where the domain model needs to go to all the raw values. That's fine. You know what? I think it's probably fine. I am probably overthinking it. I probably need to come back with fresh eyes, actually. I'm gonna do like 1 or 2 more passes over it though, but I think I'm actually going to plan on, I know I want to charge for this service, but I think I'm actually going to plan on like putting it on my GitHub also as like a really good like case study of how to develop with AI. I've been really liking what I'm doing with it. And I know it's taken like an hour of just getting this plan, or not, maybe not an hour, actually close to an hour of getting this plan ready, but I think it's been really nice. And again, this is like what I do. I go back and forth a lot. Probably takes about an hour, if not a little bit longer, to get the plan right, get the data understood, that kind of jazz. But I think I have it in a good spot right now. Again, I'm gonna go over, clean it up a little bit, and I'm gonna put like a repo on there as like a way that I work with it, just to show other people how to do it. I've also worked on a blog post and I've done a couple of reels about it, but I need to go more in depth, I think, with it. With that being said, y'all, I really appreciate you hanging out. Thanks for joining and watching me work through all of this like logic and stuff. And also a little bit of design work for Camp Notes. With that being said, it is now 11:30. I am going to bed. Y'all have a great night, and I will catch you in the next stream. Bye. Thanks, Nutter. I appreciate it. I will be back. I don't know if I'll make it back next week because it's Thanksgiving here in the US, but I will be back before maybe in December. I don't know how calendars work. I will be back. I promise. All right. Bye.